Hi, today we're going to be going over a bookshop that I created. It is an online bookshop. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think you should use it. And we're also going to go over why you may want to use other shops on this site as well. We also have some books to go over, which I am very excited to share about. So why did I create this bookshop? To answer that, we have to go back. This channel has been around for 4 years now, and we've gone over a good chunk of books. And throughout all of those videos, I've never had affiliate links down in the bottom, and that's mainly because I don't really like Amazon that much. I want to focus in on a banner that they had on their website during Prime days, and they called it the anti-Prime campaign. But essentially, the banner stated, support bookstores, not billionaires. And that's the essential point that I want to drive home. Regardless if you support me in my shop, one of the very foundational reasons that I use this is because it helps with your local bookshop. You can set yourself to their shop, and regardless of what book you buy, that money will go to support that bookshop. What they mainly do is they empower local bookshops to have online presences. That means that local bookshops don't have to worry about keeping a huge inventory. They don't have to worry about online payments. They don't have to worry about keeping up a website and making it look aesthetic and beautiful. All these things are covered when they are using a bookshop.org website. For my bookshop, you can use any of the affiliate links down below to get there. Okay, so let's hop into my shop and I'll give you a tour. So as you can see, when I go into this site, bookshop.org, at the top left, it shows the bookshop that I'm associated with, or the one that I'm supporting. And that would be the same for you. So if you go in with my affiliate link, it will put my bookshop up at the top left, and that's kind of how you know who you're supporting. You can choose a different bookstore here. There's also this little banner. It shows how much they have supported local bookshops with their profits, and it has a little information icon which you can go in and learn more about. Here you can see that, well, they're almost raised $50 million now, so they're going to have to change that soon. And then it tells you how it works. So you pick a store, which I just talked about, buy a book, it'll come in the mail, and then the profits will be shared with the bookstore that you use to check out. Here you can see the breakdown of their profits. So the independent bookstores get the majority of all the profits. Bookshop.org only takes about, it looks like 12 to 15%, whereas affiliates, which is where I would be, maybe 5 to 10% or something like that. And so just an overall great platform to support. The books on here are a little bit more expensive, but instead of giving your money to Jeff Bezos, you can support local bookshops or creators like me. Let's go to my bookshop. Here you can see at the top left that it has changed to my bookshop. So if I were to purchase a book now, it would go to me. And here you can see my banner that I have on my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube picture. Here we get into the actual bookshop. So the stuff that I've recommended comes up here. You can go into these. A lot of these have my thumbnails in them. And then they'll have all of these different books that I mentioned in there. And then if you go down, you can see like a lot of other ones. So these are books that I've loved recently, ones that haven't come out in a video yet, but are soon to be. And of course, I mean, we have Crying in H Mart right here. We have Sea of Tranquility right here, and Family of Liars. So all of these are books that I really like and recommend, but they just hadn't been talked about until now. And that goes for all the rest of these books. The creepiest novels, my favorite books, and then I usually don't talk a ton about fantasy on this channel. It's something that I'll probably be changing here. I'm currently reading The Lies of Locke Lamora, which is very nice. And yeah, so these are ones that I've read and think people should read as well though. And then nonfiction. So just trying to give a little bit of flavor for everybody. You know, like nonfiction and fantasy, I don't really talk about on this and haven't made a ton of videos about, but really wanted to give people a taste of what I like to read, even if it is in stuff that I haven't put out on the channel before. So yeah, that's my bookshop. Like I said, the affiliate links are down below if you want to use it. If you just want to get there and then choose your own bookstore, that's great too. But just want to recognize this platform for being something that can help locally. So with that, we're going to be going into these books that I've gotten. All of these books were not gotten from Bookshop. They were gotten from various locations, which I'm going to be discussing as I discuss them. And I really want this to hit home that you should be getting books from a bunch of places. So let's hop into the first one, Crying in H Mart. I recently picked this up on a trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas, from a bookshop called Dixon Street Bookstore, and it is incredible in there. It is a used bookstore, and it's the kind of place where you need to get lost in, if you know what I mean. And have really been enjoying this. So this is a current read of mine that I'm working through. It is a memoir, and it is about Michelle, and essentially her mother getting cancer and dying. And it talks about her as an Asian woman and growing up with an Asian mother, and how just the cultural impact that that has on you, and then also just the familial impact that it has on you as well. So definitely looking forward to keeping on reading this and finishing it, but enjoying the journey. So, but from what I've read so far, definitely worth picking up. Street Fight by Jeanette Sadik Khan. I picked up while I went to a talk by Jeanette Sadik Khan. This is another nonfiction book for this list. I did end up getting it signed by the authors, so that was really cool. And essentially this goes over how to create good places in good cities. Jeanette Sadik Khan was the transportation director under Mayor Bloomberg in NYC in the late 2010s, I believe. And essentially what she's talking about in this book is creating livable cities, how she created places like a walkable Times Square and shutting that off to cars. How they put up a lot of pedestrian plazas in New York during their reign, and how they also were the first to implement the city bikes that you see there. All of these are gone through in this book, and although I think it can be a little bit repetitive, and I'm not a huge fan of reading nonfiction, definitely her talk and her story are very inspiring. So if you want to watch one of those, I'd definitely say give it a try. And if you're interested, give this one a look up. But definitely an interesting story. These last two books I got at the library. I'm not sure if all libraries do this, but my library has where you can donate books that are like new or barely used, and then other people can purchase them. And those purchases goes to helping the programming of the library. And so I thought that was like a really cool way to not even help support a local business, but help support just libraries, which are just amazing establishments in general, and I really love them. So I was really happy to find these books there. Family of Liars is the prequel, but written after the We Were Liars novel. We Were Liars is one of my favorite books, and to recommend to people because it is so unique in its description. It's like a beach read, but then it turns into a mystery, but it's not a mystery. And yeah, it's hard to explain, but without giving too much away. But essentially it's about these rich people who go summering on their family island, and it's just going through their lives. This one takes place before, like I said, We Were Liars, and so it has some spoilers even in the first couple of pages of what happened in that book, which is kind of weird to say. So don't pick this up until you read that one, but definitely go read We Were Liars. I'm honestly surprised that this is the first time I've talked about We Were Liars on this channel, because I think it is such a very unique written and overall great book. Just something that is like very, very captivating. And lastly, The Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. You might notice that name, Emily St. John Mandel, because she is the author of Station 11. Station 11 was a best-selling book about a pandemic that kind of wiped out humanity. I talk about that book in the Creepiest Novels video. I really, really enjoyed that book, and so I also wanted to read The Sea of Tranquility. It had been on my list for quite a few years, and when I saw this with its like gorgeous, like shiny cover, I knew I had to pick it up. So was really happy to have that. Sea of Tranquility is kind of in that same verse or universe where the pandemic happened. This takes place from 4 points of view, or from 4 storylines from like way, way back in time to then in the future. I will say it's like the most human sci-fi I've ever read. Without giving too much away, it's kind of about time travel and stuff like that, but just so grounded in humanity, which I think is what Emily St. John Mandel does so well, especially Station 11. You know, when the whole world is crumbling, you're really just focusing on these characters. She writes them so, so, so good. She is coming out with another novel that's coming out in September called Exit Party, which again is in the same universe. And I am extremely, extremely excited to read that as well. So those are the 4 books, but this one you should definitely pick up as well. So Sea of Tranquility.